Hello there, Eagles fans. Welcome back to Philly Eagles Therapy. I'm Basil,
And I'm Baz.
and we're recording Monday, January 19th, 2026. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody watching right now. Hope you had a good day off if you were off. Dad, Eagles are out, but we got some other football to talk about.
Yeah, we sat there. Usually the best weekend of the year is yesterday and the day before the big games, and they didn't disappoint. A couple did, but for the most part, there were some pretty good ones out there. So it's just hard to watch, and stay focused and not get on my phone or go upstairs and cook some food. So makes it
100%.
hard.
I had the games on my iPad most of the day. I was with my nephew. I can't. It's just hard to care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I know.
football, I already shaved the head and the beard because football season's over. And it's just like whatever. All right. Yeah, no. So we got some news to talk about before we get into the games. The big news. I know we're late to this because we kind of took our time recording, but it's fine. Obviously, offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo fired, or I guess not fired, but relieved of his duties so far of the offensive coordinator position for the Philadelphia Eagles. Dad, move that had to happen. You had to do it,
Yeah,
and
what took so
took
long?
too long. Yeah,
It should have happened at halftime in the game last week against the Niners when they were up 13-10, I think. They
yep,
should have fired him then and just said, "Hey, you, an Eagles shirt, come down here. You call some plays." I
yep,
tell you what, I could have called some plays. I guarantee you that. It's just
yep.
amazing. It's amazing. And then, no harm, no foul, I guess. Sirianni just gets to say, "Okay, sorry, I made a mistake." That can't happen again ever. I mean,
Yeah.
they talked about it all in the offseason about how when they did the internal hiring, it didn't work out. Well, we wasted a good year there. We
Yeah.
wasted a good team, a young team, and it's 1 year out the books. I mean, it's not a good thing.
Yep. So there's been a lot of reports about who they're going to be hiring and who they're going to be interviewing. So I got a list of guys here to mention give me your thoughts on each and every one of them.
Okay,
So
I'll be brief.
yeah, first one, Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator for Ole Miss. They have requested hiring with him or interviewing
That's
him. Jeez.
that's good. I mean, I saw some of his offense this year, and they were pretty darn good.
Yep. The next one, offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter for the Colts.
He's a big name. I mean, I've heard of him for years now. So, hey, I would take him.
Yeah, and he was with Doug Peterson in Jacksonville and Shane Steichen in Indianapolis, of course. So he's been around some Philly guys before, so I like that hire as well.
Well,
Mike McDaniel, of course, the head coach from the Miami Dolphins, who was fired.
yeah,
That's kind of the top pick. It feels like for a lot of people around the Eagles
yeah.
organization and
Well,
the Eagles fan base.
first of all, he's young. He's a head coach, so he's been humbled. He had Tua, and he just couldn't get things going with him. But it wasn't. I don't think it was his fault. They had no consistency down there. When they were good, they were good. They were scoring 70 points a game here a couple of years ago, right? Two, three
Yeah,
years
no,
ago.
it's
I
crazy.
mean, the offense was great, and you start losing players, and then Tua can't stay in the game, so you can't build inconsistency. But I like him. I think he'd be too good to be true. I think because if he did well next year and takes him to the NFC or championship game, he might be your head coach. So
Yep. The next one, which I think is going to be the most likely, former New York Giants head coach Brian Dable, obviously was the offensive coordinator for Jalen once in college, and then he worked with Nick before in the NFL. So I think that one is the most likely to see. Now,
yeah,
right now, with the Bills head coaching job just opening up, there are a lot of people who think that he will be going to the Bills because he was the OC there and had great success with Josh Allen. But I still do think there's a big chance that he's the offensive coordinator in Philly next year.
yeah. I mean, I think he's a good choice. I like hot head coaches. I don't like players that don't get emotional. I'm surprised a lot of times when I watch a game and the quarterback's sitting down, not even watching the game. I mean, being a crazy fan like I am, I'd be standing there yelling at players, "Let's go!" But I think he'd be good. He's obviously worked with Jalen before, and he had somewhat success in New York when he had a good running back and a good quarterback, and then that kind of fell apart this year. But I think if that didn't happen, I think they would have had a better record.
Yep.
And some guys aren't cut out to be head coaches, i.e., Vic Fangio.
Yeah. Next one, passing game coordinator for the Dolphins, Bobby Slowick.
I don't know the name, but I'm sure he's been around. And again, he's had a pretty good offense down there when they were healthy and they could get things going. But it's probably, hopefully, he's been with them for a couple of years.
Yeah. And then all the confirmed interviews that have happened were Zach Robinson, who was the Falcons offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, who was the offensive coordinator for the Giants, Jim Bob Cooter, who I already
Wow.
mentioned, and then Josh Grizzard, who was the Bucks offensive coordinator.
Well, Mike Kafka was a backup quarterback for us many years ago, and he's kind of had a good success with the offense coordinator thing here in the NFL. So he might not be a bad choice. Kind of knows the city, probably knows some of the people in the front office, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But
Yep.
yeah, we just need somebody who's fairly young. I know Kafka's not that old, so he would be I think, a good choice as well.
Yep. Now the big debate has been around: do you hire a guy who, if he does well, he'd be a head coach the next year, or do you
Well,
want a guy who's not going to be a head coach?
I've heard the debate. You know what? If you could take us to the NFC Championship game, I don't care.
I agree.
Um, I think the pedigree here has been we change them every year anyway. So what's the big deal? I mean,
Yeah.
I know that it sucks for a Hurts to not have any consistency there, but they've had success every year, and even this year you could call it a successful year. It wasn't what we wanted, but they made the playoffs 5 years straight with Nick, and I mean that's just the way it's going to be. But if you could take us deeper than we went this year, I'll take them.
And that's really the downside that we talked about to having a coach who's a CEO, doesn't call plays, and having a quarterback, or sorry, not having a roster that's this talented. You're always going to be good enough to probably look good and have guys get hired away from you.
Yeah.
Or we're going to fire them because they underwhelm. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny. Remember during the season, I'd say maybe week 7 or 8, they're like, "Hey, there's rumors that Kevin Patillo is going to be a head coach." And when I heard that, I went, "Okay, I don't know who's setting your rumors up, but have him call me because that's not going to happen. That's
Dude,
a
I thought
joke."
I thought it might have been an inside job, like the Eagles staff or like the Eagles brass. Howie Roseman, and we're spreading that so they'd be like, "Hey, someone take this guy so that we don't have to frickin' fire him."
Yeah. I mean, the only thing he did well, and I know it did not many, he unleashed Goddard, which was nice. And he had, I would say, inside the 20, we did have that red zone
Yeah,
high percentage, but, after a while, we didn't get towards the end zone for many second halves. So
yeah,
that wasn't good enough for me.
no. All right, now let's talk about some games. 2 games on Saturday, 2 games that were on Sunday. Bills Broncos, the first one, kind of was the only competitive game on Saturday, definitely,
Yeah.
and came down to the wire. A lot of excitement, a lot of cheer, a lot of disappointment after the game because of the crazy news that we just have to jump into of Bo Nix breaking a bone in his ankle. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure everyone watching this felt the same way. I thought it was fake. I was like, no way.
Wow.
Like, I get a text in the group chat, oh, Bo Nix out, broken ankle. And I'm like, no chance. I
Yeah.
go and look it up, and it's the first thing from Adam Schefter. Bo
Yeah.
Nix broke his ankle. And they're like, oh, I couldn't believe it. Could you imagine being, I was cheering against the Broncos
I
because
know.
I work, yeah.
I
And
was not.
imagine being a Broncos fan downtown in Denver, you're partying. We're going back to these championship game. It's our first division win in 10 years. And then you're sitting in the bar happy with your friends and you see on TV or on your phone, Bo Nix out for the season. Like, oh my God, that is
Yeah.
just
Well,
abysmal.
I told you a story about my buddy David back in Phoenix. He texted me and I texted back, and then he called me and he's like all excited. I could tell he had a couple, he's a little bit tipsy. And I said, well, and you had already told me. I said, I think I heard Bo Nix was injured. And he's like, oh, come on, dude. And I'm like, okay, now I know, like, he didn't hear it yet. So I said, I'm not going to say anything. And a minute later, his daughter came in. Hey, Dad, there's a thing on the thing that says Bo Nix is out. I mean, you got to celebrate for 5 minutes. I mean, we've been through this before in
Yeah.
2017, so we kind of know what it's like. But it didn't happen right after you won the
Yeah.
home, your first home playoff game in 10 years. Yeah,
Yes.
it's very unfortunate. But I will, if you listen to this podcast, I was down on the Bills before the season even began. I said that window had closed. I really felt that way, and I felt that way the whole season. I just didn't think
Yeah.
they were going to get anywhere. And the worst part for the Bills fans is the fact that you got Mahomes is not there, Burrow's not there, Jackson's not there, and you're not there either. I mean, it's just this was your turn, this was your time, but they just didn't have the weapons in the team. They just didn't
Yeah.
have it.
Well, just like you were down on the Bills, so too were the referees because, man, oh man, I know you and I were jawing back and
I
forth.
disagree.
just horrible. And
I
it's funny because I
disagree.
saw posts online about it, about how, oh, this is a great game, and then the referees walk in and say, oh, let's make it about us, guys. Unbelievable.
I
That
will
was a
say
catch.
this:
That was a
the
catch. It was
the
not a pick.
interception, the
That was
interception.
not a catch. That is a
Yeah,
catch.
they have to because there's funny because they had one yesterday that was very similar.
Yep.
And you see the guy catch it, and he's clearly down. And there was also a fumble they called a fumble where they went back to it, and the guy's knee was down, and then they ripped it out. But I'll tell you this, Baz, that one on Hurts against the Bears, I just can't let it go. And I know that was 10 weeks ago, but when he was tackled and they stopped, he was stopped, and they ripped the ball out, and they gave him the ball, and there's got to be something done. But yeah, that interception was not an interception, and
Yeah.
but there was a couple PIs you were crying about that were PIs,
They were
100%.
awful. There was
No,
one of them. One of them was a PI.
the tackle one at the
Here's the
end of the
thing.
game.
I agree. It's pass interference. It's not a pass interference that you can call. It's not big enough. Not a big enough.
You know,
That did not. It didn't bring him down. It didn't.
he
It didn't grab
tackled
his
him.
arm. He's in the
So
air. The guy
look,
ran into him. He's got the ability to still catch it.
I know you're still hurting from the 2023 Super Bowl
It is. It
when
is.
we got the ticky-tock foul
Can't
that
call that.
when you said they were going to call, you said they called it, and I said to you at the bar during the game, there's no way they call that penalty. You can't decide a game there on that call,
Yeah.
and they did. So I don't have any empathy for any of those guys anymore. They ripped it away from us. We should at least had a chance to go down and tie that game up, and they let them score a touchdown on that. So not
And
going to get any sympathy from me.
the worst thing was the play before that. The Broncos run.
Yeah.
It's funny. You were angry when it happened, and you're not even a
Yes.
Broncos fan.
No,
you
but
you saw the Bo Nix run out to the left. He gets tackled,
oh,
and you're like, "What are they doing?
yeah,
That was stupid. He could get
yeah.
hurt."
Well,
And
that's
he
when he
got
broke
hurt.
his ankle. Yeah,
That was
I
the play he
know.
broke his
And I
ankle.
remember when they did it, they had done. I guess there's a lot of plays this weekend that I saw that. Uh, so who was it that kept trying the out pass? Like they tried it 5 times, and every time it got swallowed up. I must have been the Houston game, but
Okay,
and
probably.
but they kept running Bo to the left side, and I'm going, what are you doing? Like, and it didn't work any times. When he rolls right, he can run, but he ran it, and when he ran that at that point in the game, I kind of went, what do you do? He can get hurt, and you're right, he got hurt. And the next play, he threw the bomb, and it was an interference, and they got the field goal, and it
Yeah.
ended the game. But I agree with you, though. They should never have, and I know pass interference is pass interference, but you remember the Goddard pass interference in whatever game that was
Broncos. It was the
on the
Broncos.
right side of the game, and they didn't call it, and you're like, well, you can't call pass interference there. And I'm like, I say that all the time. You can't call that, but I don't care if it's a Hail Mary. If you grab my face mask and pull me to the ground, it's a face mask and it's a pass interference. But you hate to see a game determined that way, and that's what happened.
Yep.
But I just don't think the Bills would have had much anyway after this week. They're not good. They're
The,
not
the
good.
the pass interferences didn't bother me as much as the interception. That is so bad.
It was bad.
You
The
see it
guy's down.
from every
Yeah.
angle. I'm watching it live from every angle. I'm going,
Right.
okay, he's down. That's it.
Right.
Nothing
Right.
happens after that. He's
Yeah.
caught the ball. It's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
like being down and then you hit your knee and then you hit the ground and then the ball comes out. It's not
And
a fumble. You're
now it
down.
sucks because, and we're going to talk about it, but now it sucks because the AFC Championship game, there's two teams that I hate and want to lose.
Right.
It just sucks. I mean, it's just terrible.
Well, one is one I don't want to see win.
Yeah.
Denver doesn't break
I
my
know.
heart,
I have to cheer for Denver, and I just would hate that.
but the
Uh,
Patriots, I'd rather not see them go all the way.
yeah. Next
Excuse
one,
me.
the Saturday night game, which we don't have to spend too much time on.
Sure.
It's very fun. I mean, sorry, it was very fun, but not like a exciting game. It was just fun to watch the Niners get curb stomped
Oh yeah.
by the
Oh yeah.
Seattle Seahawks.
100%.
The Seahawks just
Yeah.
destroyed them. Start to finish, there was no chance. I mean,
Yeah.
you play that game 100 times, and 100 times the Seahawks would have won that game.
Well,
I mean,
the
that
funny
was
thing is,
destruction.
the opening kickoff return for a touchdown. They didn't have to score any more points the rest of the game. That's
Yeah, it's
incredible. The
It is.
first 8 seconds of the game, and it was over. It would have ended 7-6 because the Niners could not score any points, and we knew that when we played them last week. They couldn't score any points, but we boneheaded the offense so bad that we just let them in the game and let them beat us. But yeah, the one team that I did not want to see go any farther was the Niners because their
I
fans are
agree.
just as obnoxious as Philly, but not
Oh yeah,
nearly as cool. They're not nearly as cool as we are.
that's right. Definitely. Although we do appreciate some of the Niners fans who jumped in the comments and
Oh
said
yeah,
stuff to us, so we do appreciate that. You guys are
yeah,
cool. The rest of them aren't. But I saw some posts on, of course, online just about Mark safe from hearing bang bang Niner gang. Like, oh, I don't have to
right,
hear that.
right,
Thank God.
yeah,
But yeah. And then the Sunday morning game. Not a game I really paid attention to much. Sorry, it wasn't the morning game, but the early game.
yeah.
This was the game of the weekend I least watched. I was with my nephew, like I had said. Texans take on the Patriots. The Patriots, it was close here and there, but for the most part, it just never felt like they actually had a chance. The Texans. It just never
C.J.
felt like they had a chance.
Stroud, he must have had 10 turnovers in the two playoff games. It's
Right?
awful. I think he had 5 fumbles in the first game, and then this other game, he threw 4 interceptions in that game.
Yep,
It was
he did.
just, you guys, and it's a shame because Houston has a championship caliber defense.
Yes.
No doubt. I mean, it's just a shame, but you got to have somebody who can play the ball, throw the ball,
I
and,
mean,
and do
yeah.
something with it.
The Texans
Bad.
were a very similar team to us. Now, I'm not going to say our defense was as good as the Texans because the
Right,
Texans defense
right.
is.
It's
But it was
amazing.
like that in the sense where,
Yeah.
oh, the defense is carrying him. Can the offense just do something?
Well,
Just
you could
something.
say the defense wasn't as good as our defense, and C.J. Stroud's not even close to what Hurts can do. This
That's true.
guy, it's funny. It's like when they say you're slow, but at least you do poor work. Well, he does both. He can't make a decision, and he can't hold on to the ball. I don't know where they going from here. I mean, he's in year 3 now. That was pathetic. I mean, that was some of the worst. And then, especially the one that he threw. I mean, at one point, my buddy's, he was a fan. We were talking back and forth, and I was thinking to myself, man, they've stopped the Patriots like 2 or 3 times. They just got to score. They get the ball back, and on the second play is when he's getting hit, and he just throws it up for grabs, and they take it in for a pick six, and I'm like,
It
you
was.
can't do that, man. You throw it out of bounds, you take the sack. It was bad. He's bad,
Yes. Yeah. And
unfortunately.
yeah, now the Patriots are going back to the AFC Championship game. It sucks. It just sucks.
Well, it's the easiest route I think I've ever seen a team to get to the Super Bowl. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe maybe us when
I'm
we played
happy.
the we
I'm
played the
happy
Giants in
people. I'm
23.
happy people have been saying things about that because in 22, everyone said the Eagles had the easiest route. But I just like to kind of point out in 2022, we played the Giants and everyone thought we were going to lose to the Giants. And then we played the Niners and then Brock Purdy got hurt playing football. And
Yeah,
then we played the
yeah,
Chiefs
yeah,
and lost. And everyone said, oh, it's the
yeah,
easiest path ever. So I'm
yeah.
happy people are calling this one out because the Patriots literally have they had the easiest schedule in the 21st century.
Right. Yeah,
Like
yeah. You were
literally.
saying it. Yeah, and
Playoff wise, I
now,
don't know, but yeah,
well, now they play the Denver Broncos without Bo Nix. So I mean,
right.
I
I
don't
know.
no. I don't want nothing bad about Jason Stidham, but this is
Jared
not.
Stidham. Yep,
See, I don't even know his name, but
I
it's
know.
just a shame because, I think it was Aikman said it at the end of the game. I almost fell out of my chair. He goes, I think he's going to have a great game. And I'm like, dude, come on, now,
That was
come
weird.
on. Now,
I
come
did
on.
hear that, and it was
Yeah,
weird that he said that.
you could say, oh, hope he does well. You think he's going to, really, like, really. I mean, you got to be real here. This guy's thrown a pass. His last pass was like in 2023. Like,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, at least with Nick Foles, we knew what Foles was when we had
yeah,
Foles.
it's a weird statistic. So the Broncos the only team this year to not have had a quarterback throw a pass.
Oh wow.
And last year, they're also the only team last year to have not had a backup quarterback throw a pass. So Stidham has literally, yeah, he has not played in a game,
Yeah,
not just not
yeah.
thrown. He has not played in a game. Well, maybe he's kneeled down or handed the ball off or
Right.
something. But he has not thrown the pass since 2023. Yeah, it's
Well,
pretty
see,
crazy. I
now
mean,
that's bad coaching. I'm sure the Broncos were killing somebody this year that they could have stuck him in with 7.5 to go just to keep the guy fresh. I
yep.
mean, even starting pitchers get up out of the move and throw some pitches once in a while. So I don't know. And this is what happens when that does that. But yeah, it's going to be a bummer. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
And then the Sunday night game, the Rams and Bears. Another game I was pretty disappointed by. I don't like the Bears especially, but I hate LA.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's a rule. You always cheer for every team that's in LA. Sorry. You always cheer against every team in LA and every team in New York City. That's a
Right.
rule of fan bases. If you are a fan of a team and they're not in New York or LA, you
Yeah.
always cheer for the team that's playing against them, unless it's a division rival or something like that. You
Yeah.
never ever cheer for LA or New York. So unfortunately, the Rams win, and the Rams are going to the NFC Championship game. Uh, Pretty frustrating to me.
I'll tell you something that, I was saying all year I was waiting for Stafford to kind of, fall off a cliff or not really play that well. And the last 2 or 3 weeks, he has not played that well. I mean, he could still throw the laser short passes, but the Bears kind of gave you a blueprint on how to beat him because they were getting to him. They were frustrating him. I mean, there was a while there he couldn't throw a complete pass. It probably was the second or third quarter. It was like the whole quarter he barely completed any balls. But once he heated up again, but they gave the game away, which is unfortunate. I had no dog in that race either as well. It would have been nice to see a fresh team and the Bears be there. But Caleb Williams, he throws 3 bad interceptions. He
Yep.
should have ran more, just like Hurts should have ran more. He started running late in the game, and of course the game tying touchdown was, blindfold, close your eyes and throw it as far as you can. Still can't believe the guy was open. And there's those conspiracy theorists out there. There is no way in God's earth that you could draw up that play on the last play of your fourth and whatever and complete it. It was really incredible. It was one of the most unbelievable pass plays I've seen in years.
Yeah. So the championship matchups are set. The Patriots will be playing the Broncos at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Rams will be playing the Seahawks at 4:30. And the favorites right now, the Patriots are favored by 5.5. Makes sense. And then the Seahawks are favored by 2.5. The Seahawks Rams game I'm very excited for. Obviously, one of the best games of the year was between those two teams.
Yeah,
And it felt like we were owed a third matchup of that team
yeah,
and those two teams. And now here they are playing again. So that's going
and
to be
they
fun.
and they really, quite frankly, were the two best teams in the NFC the entire
Agreed.
year.
Well, I
Now,
would say the NFL.
okay, I'll give you that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
because
give
the
you that.
Broncos. I mean, no disrespect to the Broncos, they got the 1 seed, but they were down to us 17-0. They were down to the Giants something. They were down to this. Like
Yeah,
same with the Bears. They kept on coming back, which is a
yeah,
huge credit to. But I don't think many people ever felt like the Broncos were the number one team in the NFL. Same with the
right. No,
Patriots. Even though they were good, they
yeah,
were no one ever felt like, oh, they're the best team. So I would
yeah,
say the Seahawks and the Rams for the most part of the season was, oh, who's the best team in the league? It's one of these two teams. It felt like all
yeah.
year.
I agree. The only thing is, it's very possible Seattle could possibly blow them out if there's some weather. I mean, because I just the way the Rams looked last week. I know it was cold and windy and all that, but they did that. They played us tight in the year before, in snowy, cold weather, and it wasn't that, but it just something's up. I don't know. They just didn't seem to be that good, but we'll see it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a good
I
one.
mean, a lot of people thought that there was some of the talking heads thought that the Rams would put up 40 on the Bears defense. They only put up 20, and they
Yeah,
needed to go to overtime for it. So
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't. It was, but they were exciting games, so I can't complain. Unfortunately, the focus is not there as much. Like when we're watching the Eagles. I mean, like every play. So it was kind of a bummer. I actually had to rewind a couple of games so I could see what happened because I missed 3 or 4 plays, and then I'm sending text out on the play that's happening, and that was 10 minutes ago. So the guys I'm texting are like, "What? What
yeah,
play? What interception?" So I realized it, so I had to fast forward again. So
that's funny.
anyway,
Early predictions for the Super Bowl. Who's it going to be, Dad?
that's going to be Seattle, and it's going to be the Patriots, and Seattle's going to crush them. Just
Yeah,
my opinion. If
yeah,
you just don't let Drake May run, they're in 3rd and 10 every time. Just don't let him run for a first down, and you're going to get the ball back. They
yeah.
happened yesterday 10 times, day before yesterday.
And we'll talk about it because we'll do
Oh,
a
Super Bowl,
preview
definitely.
episode
Oh yeah,
coming up before we do the AFC Championship games, and then we'll talk about the Super Bowl. Just could you imagine if Sam Darnold got to the Super Bowl?
I want now. That's my team. I mean, I
I
really would
agree.
like to. I hate Seattle in the regular season, but yeah, for Sam Darnold to win it, yeah, it'd be cool because he's been crapped on his whole career. I mean,
Yeah,
he took he had 4 years in the Jets, and then he goes to Minnesota, and they pissed in the lake. I don't know what they were doing getting rid of him. He was so good that year, and now he's doing the same thing, a different offense, a different team. He's turned it around, man. So yeah, I'd like to see him get there.
As a Birds fan, you always root for other birds, so that's how you got to do.
There you go.
Except the
Okay.
Cardinals, that's not true. You don't ever do that. It's not. It doesn't work at all. We don't cheer for the Ravens either. But I don't.
The Falcons, sorry,
Yeah,
man.
I kind of hate the Falcons too. So it doesn't work at
Yeah.
all actually.
No.
Um, yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. I'll be going for the Seahawks going the rest of the way, I guess.
I mean, I'll be pulling for Denver to win, but
No
I mean,
chance.
I'll tell you what, if I was a
I can't
betting
choose them.
guy, if I was a betting man, I would lay a lot of money on the Patriots in that spread
Yeah, I
because
know.
you don't know what your starting quarterback is going to do. You don't know what he's going to do. And the Patriots defensive line, they were putting a lot of Milton Williams is playing out of his mind, and there's a few other players on that line that were if they pressure him, it's over, man. If they pressure him, it's over early. It's unfortunate. You hate to get the number one seed and have your QB go down, but I I just don't see
Brutal.
it.
It's
I
brutal.
don't see it.
Yeah. All right, man. That's all I got to do. I got all I got to
All
say.
right,
So you got
it's
anything
good.
else?
No, it's
All
good.
right. We'll say our goodbyes. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If you like Philly Eagles Therapy, do us a favor, rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on Division Weekend and your thoughts on the championship weekend coming up. We will be back to record a preview for all the championship or both of the championship games. You can also send us emails at phillyeaglestherapy@gmail.com. But other than that, from all of us here at Philly Eagles Therapy, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds!
Fly, Eagles, fly.